I don't know. I feel like it's hard to not put Michael Jordan there. Jordan has the best logo of any of these players. He already has the logo. And can you imagine every NBA team having the logo? And it's different. But I agree with you at the same time. Does Jordan really want to do that? Do you think he would kind of hurt his brand, quote unquote, by doing that?
It would just be like weird because then it'd be like another Jordan. It'd be like Jordan League. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like a league of its own type thing. And it's like I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't. What if they went with something like the NFL's logo, right? Where it just says NFL, but instead it says NBA. Like what if they did something like that? I wouldn't mind that. But I don't know. The logo man is just iconic. You know what I mean? Like you
Well,
see it,
you
you
said
instantly
it.
know what it is.
The biggest reason why the logo can't change is because Jerry West, right? He's on the logo. It was made 50 years ago. And if you notice, they never claim that it's Jerry West. The NBA has never put out a statement or anything claiming that it's Jerry West. We
Yeah.
just all assume it is.
So yeah, because they had a picture of him doing that exact same move. But like if you go through and you can find a picture very similar, close to like half the league doing that exact move. All he was doing was dribbling with his left hand. Like it's not like it was like an identified thing. Like you're right, they never 100% went out and said yes, Jerry West is the logo because I don't know if he is actually. Like I think just as like a group thinking thing, everyone was like, oh yeah, it has to be. Look at the picture. But you could find a guy from anybody attacking the basket from that side of the wing at that angle, dribbling with his left hand. That's you know what I mean?
Well, the funniest part is they don't want to say it's Jerry West, even if let's say it is Jerry West, because the player would then ask for royalties because
Mm-hmm.
technically they can't have the logo
Yeah.
of somebody without giving them money. So
Mm-hmm.
Jerry West, what if he sued, one of these days? He's like, the past like what 50 years, you guys have been using a picture of me and making so much profit. I want half. He could do that.
Imagine if he did that, how much money the NBA would lose. They'd be screwed. They might go bankrupt. They might be like, well, shit, we can't pay you that much. That's like $10 billion.
Adam Silver, he would put a lick on Jerry West and kill him
Oh,
somehow for
oh
that.
my God. Jerry West even brought that up. Adam Silver, like, kill him now. Get him out of my face.
He'd go on the dark web and be like, let me find somebody to take this
He
man
would just
out.
Google hitmen for hire.
While it is widely understood that Jerry is the logo, like you said, since they never acknowledged it and it is a non existent player, I don't know who they could do it. I don't know who they can change it as. Doc Rivers said himself that he said he thinks that the logo should be changed to Michael. And he's like, at the same time, I don't feel like Jerry should be losing of the logo because he's been a deserving guy. Choose one guy, Caleb. Who do you want to change the logo to? I've heard some good examples of Bill Russell because of the civil rights movement and of course the championships and everything. Obviously Mike, Kobe,
I don't
could
know
do
if you could.
LeBron, but that
I
would
don't
be
know if you
weird.
could do a guy from Bill Russell's era because like our generation right now is like the generation where we just don't appreciate him at all, right? Like we're starting to like phase out his legacy in basketball, and it's like you mean to tell me people younger than us and generations after us are gonna have to come in and respect Bill Russell? No, it's not gonna happen. It's gonna have to be somebody. It might actually Kobe might actually be one of the perfect guys, but here's the problem with that. Like you mentioned with like the royalties and everything, they're gonna have to pay his family. Like they're gonna have to pay them something. Like
Well,
it's just
Vanessa Bryant came out on Twitter and said that she thinks that he should be the logo, and Jeannie
oh
said the same thing. So
yeah.
Vanessa clearly wants the money, which I don't blame her, and I don't think it's for the money at all. I don't think she's
Yeah.
like that, but because at the end of the day, they have lifetime money, but they
Mhm.
are gonna want some royalties. You can't use the guy's face, the guy's motion in the
Silhouette.
game.
Yeah.
Speaking of someone that's very high potential and that's currently one of the best players in college right now, is college star Paige Bueckers. For those of you that don't know too much about her, I know a lot of you guys don't keep up with women's hoops, and for those of you that do, it's great. We're bringing it up, and we want to just kind of just go over her. So I'll just give a quick, brief summary. She's a five-star recruit from Minnesota. She first received a scholarship at 14 years old, and she justified that hype by in her first college in her college career. She scored 30 points in three consecutive games, which is the first player in UConn's history to do that. she's been killing it lately, Caleb. Just after last game, she set the record at UConn for assists in a single game with 14 assists. She finished with 20 points, 14 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. She now has the most assists in UConn history at 130, and she only did that in 20 games. So she's taken over girls basketball right now. She's ranked second in the country for win share. She's 15th in the country for points per play. And there's only two players ahead of her that have the same amount of field goal attempts. So, Caleb, this is a girl that's been killing it right now. I feel like not enough people are talking about it. UConn is number one in the country. You know UConn's. You know how they've been. They're always number one. They've had players like Maya Moore, and she's comparable to her. She's doing stuff that only people like Maya Moore have done. And her high school coach said that her first varsity game as an eighth grader, Caleb, she played on varsity as an eighth grader. She came off the bench and went 8 for 9 from three and won the game. After that, they went 31-1 on the year. And then they lost four more games the next season and they didn't lose again for the rest of Bucker's high school career.
Yeah.
She was McDonald's All-American. And funny thing is, sorry Timberwolves fans, but apparently she had more people go to her games and watch her games than people can watch Timberwolves games. So I feel like she's been doing really good. I mean, she went to Steph Curry's camp. You see NBA stars talking about her. For those of you that don't know, she's going to be a hell of a talent in the WNBA. Caleb is a big WNBA guy. He's a
The
Seattle
Seattle Storm. Woohoo!
He's a diehard Seattle Storm fan. Caleb, what are your thoughts on Paige Bueckers? How much have you watched of her, and how much are you looking forward to her?
She could go into the WNBA right now and probably be a top 5 point guard. Like whenever she gets drafted, like whenever the time comes for her to leave college and go to the WNBA, she's gonna end up being like she's gonna be like a general. Like you know how people were really excited for Sabrina last year whenever she went to New York. Like imagine that times like 15. That's gonna be Paige when she goes to the WNBA. She's going to be Maya Moore-esque. Like you did a really good job with that comparison in terms of whenever she gets drafted, the franchise is going to change like immediately. I hope whenever that time comes that Seattle is in position to get the number 1 pick, but I don't know. Like I said, right now she's coming to be a top 5 point guard. So she's going to be so good at WNBA. God damn it.
I know you're upset. Well, we talked about it. I feel like there's so much going around about her right now. ESPN's covering her a lot, and rightfully so. I'm glad they are because the stuff that she's doing is super rare. It's exciting. I feel like we don't see that a lot, and nowadays we're starting to see more of these younger players just come out and be superstars. And she's really good. I mean, one thing I will say is people will mention the fact that, well, she's if you want to nitpick, we talk about nitpicking, right? It's about her points average. It's about she doesn't average that many points per game, and she's whatever. But again, you're talking about a girl that's leading the league in assists. She's leading UConn history, which UConn is the greatest school when it comes to women's basketball. She's killing it out there. She's out there breaking records. She's breaking so many UConn records, and that doesn't happen. Like we talk about it. She has other stars on her team. She has girls dropping 20, 25 a night. Like this is not a situation where you could be like, well, she's a lone person on a bad team or a lone person on a good team. She's doing this. She's putting up numbers on a stacked team. I don't know what really, what I would say, holes or weaknesses she has, besides the fact that she's not dropping 30 a game, kind of like Maya Moore was averaging, like 25, 26 at UConn. So I don't know. I'm excited for her. I think she'll go number 1. Caleb, what do you think?
She'll go number 1 for sure.
What would it have to take for her to not go number 1?
Her to quit. Like that's the only way. Like her to retire. Like that's the only way.
Was drafting.